You are listening to an AudioBox original story. Please like and subscribe, and I will create more stories for your listening pleasure.
The Bathhouse Chapter 8. The Forest of Ash. The first Ash mercenary didn't even have time to scream. As the basement door was kicked inward from the outside, Rayon met the impact with a force that defied physics. He didn't roar. He didn't lose himself to the rage. Instead, he moved with the surgical precision of a shadow. He caught the lead mercenary's throat with one hand, the sound of crushing windpipe snapping through the room like dry kindling. Before the body could hit the floor, Rayon had stripped the man's tactical knife and driven it through the gap in the second soldier's helmet. "Glia, your left." Rayon's voice was hauntingly calm. His awareness expanded to every inch of the room. Glia didn't hesitate. She dropped to a knee, her Glock 19 barking twice. The muzzle flashes illuminated the underground tunnel, striking one mercenary in the chest. His body fell like a puppet without strings, hitting the floor with a thud. "There's too many," Glia shouted as she reloaded her magazine with trembling hands. The monitor showed more red dots closing in as they heard the thud of boots hitting the porch above. "Stay behind me," Rayon commanded. They made their way back up to the main floor, leaving the rotting corpses and the newly killed bodies behind. They found the kitchen, and Rayon grabbed a heavy oak table, flipping it with a single hand to create a barrier. Two Ash operators coming through the kitchen window was met by bullets to the head. Their bodies fell backwards into the mud as their blood sprayed against the glass in a rhythmic splatter. The cottage became a symphony of graphic, mechanical violence. Rayon was a whirlwind of lethal efficiency. He moved through a hail of gunfire, his body twisting in midair to avoid rounds that Glia could barely see. He didn't just kill, he dismantled. He caught a mercenary by the tactical vest, swinging the man's entire body into a bookshelf with a sickening thud of shattering bone. Blood began to coat the mahogany floors, mixing with the old rot of the cellar. Rayon spun, driving his palm into a soldier's chest with enough force to collapse the ribcage inward, the man's lungs wheezing out their final breath in a spray of red mist. As the next wave of Ash operators threw a flashbang, Glia felt the world go white. But Rayon didn't blink. He stepped into the light, a silhouette of vengeance. He intercepted the next three soldiers in the doorway. It was a blur of silver steel and crimson spray. A throat opened here, a heart pierced there. But even with the CX-44, Rayon was still flesh and bone. A heavy caliber round from a sniper in the tree line tore through the wooden wall of the cottage. It bypassed the tactical armor, catching Rayon in the side of the abdomen. The force spun him around, blood erupting from the exit wound and painting the white kitchen tiles. "Rayon!" Glia screamed, emptying her clip into the tree line to suppress the shooter. Rayon didn't fall. He stayed upright, his face a mask of cold, focused agony. He grabbed the last mercenary in the room by the head and slammed him into the brick fireplace until the struggling stopped. The silence that followed was heavy and wet. Outside, the helicopter was retreating, the Ash squad having realized their easy erase mission had turned into a slaughter. Glia rushed to Rayon's side. He was slumped against the kitchen counter, his hands pressed against the gaping wound in his side. The deep red of his blood was darkening the floor at a terrifying rate. The calm awareness was fading, replaced by the gray pallor of shock. "We have to go," Glia gasped, slinging his heavy arm over her shoulder. "They'll send a second wave." I can walk," Rayon lied, his voice a ragged whisper. He coughed, and blood flecked his lips. Glia looked at him, her heart breaking. Kane would be tracking them. Purgatory would be closing the net. There was only one place left where the technology of the city met the secrets of the old world, a place where the chime began. "We're going to the bathhouse," Glia said, her voice shaking but determined. "Ming will know what to do. She has to." She dragged him toward the Mini Cooper, the rain washing the blood off their faces but unable to clean the horror of what they had just done. Behind them, the Blackwood cottage stood as a pyre of ash and bone. a warning to Kane that the dead girl and her mad dog were still breathing. Thank you for returning. Please like and subscribe, and more chapters will be on the way. I write original stories and create an audio version for your listening pleasure. These stories are a work in progress, so subscribe and comment, and it will inspire me to keep the chapters coming. Thanks again for stopping by.